Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have 4 Loki versus DD13. This is the final war of the season, and they banned CGR, Scorpion, and Torch. So Andrew is super pumped because he gets to use Ghost and Herc, and we did try to come up with a plan to utilize those champions for him, and it actually allowed us to do a boss rush again. And I am on path 5 in section 1 with Hulkling here. I have America Chavez, Omega Sentinel, and White Magneto on my team. And I debated using a White Magneto pre-fight here or not, because I'm really only going to parry him if I kind of get in trouble or at the beginning. And then I just really don't want to take any blocked hits because my neutralize won't stop any of his stuff. There I miss a parry and I'm like, oh great, I'm in the corner. He has some flourish up. I need to get some of that fate sealed, and I don't want to be in the corner with him. Thank God he throws this special 2 right there, and at this point I'm gonna get another negative zone up. I saw that he had indestructible, so I did not want to make that a passive indestructible, and she hits quite hard. I saw some of those crits and I was like, well, should I just kill him with basic attacks? But he's regenerating. There you saw a major lag as I was trying to throw my SP3, but the Fury is up, the protection is down, so I throw my special 3 and I'm just letting MD kind of carry me. That's what I've kind of learned off of using Chavez, is that my special 3 does activate a bunch of dimensions. You see right here, I just dash away, he dumps his power, so I'll throw my special 3 again and get some more dimensions up. Unfortunately, it does not kill, but he's almost dead. So throws this special 1 right here, and he's dead after 1 more hit. So super smooth fight. And next up we have a Hit Monkey, and I'm taking it with White Magneto. I am using a pre-fight here because I have Omega Sentinel on the team. I will be getting a 1 persistent charge for the victory, 1 for my Sig, and 1 from Omega Sentinel, but not another one because he's not metal. So I do want to use a White Magneto pre-fight here, so when I knock him down, he does not shrug my stun debuff. I don't want to combo longer than the passive stun because he will evade. So the plan basically is not to get cornered because it has heavy unstoppable, and to throw a mutant boost. I actually threw on the wrong boost. I found out later when I was looking at them. I tried throwing a 150% on just so I can end the fight sooner, because Hit Monkey can cause problems. And right here I'm just building power without knocking him down. I want to bait the special 1. He's in his corner, and that's the basic idea bit right here. So just I'm almost at a bar, and I was going to push to 2, but I was like, at this point I'm just start building some prowess and start doing some damage, and I want to bait this this special 1. It's unblockable because he has his monkey sense schemes on. But here I miss a parry and I take a combo. Thank God that Wags is bleed immune. So at this point I'm going to throw my special 2, and you see no mutant boost, so no power back. I did not realize this in the fight, but he's almost dead, so I'm not too worried at this point. I want to throw the special 1, and that ends him. So super simple fight. Well, not super simple. You don't want to hit into him when he has his schemes up. He will evade and obviously can do bad things. That monkey can hurt. So next up I have Omega Sentinel, and I did throw the full recoil tree on for this because this is the last war of the season. We have to win this war to get into Masters. We're at the top of P1. We don't want to take any chances. I don't know how DD13 is going to do. Everybody seems to have their best war against us, so I just want to make sure that everything goes as best as possible, as fast as possible. My fight time is not exactly the best later on in this war, but for this fight you can see that she's hitting quite hard, and at this point I'm just only ending in a light attack so I don't feed him any more debuffs, because that increases his combat power rate and he will shrug it, go overpowered. And I am going to be baiting heavies for openings as well as SB1s for openings, so if I'm going to bait a heavy, I'm going to take some chip damage through the block. So everything's going, just fine at this point. About a minute has gone by and he's about a little over 50%, under 50% actually with that combo. And I debated throwing a special 2 or a special 3, but the special 2 just didn't line up with the power sting. So I was like, at this point, a minute has gone by and he's under 30%. I'm like, I'm not throwing a special. I'm just gonna kill him. But the fight is going super smooth. I took this before with a White Magneto pre-fight and I was able to parry. I do have max collar tech here, so when I am hitting him, I am reducing some of his combat power rate. And right there, I went for the medium at the end, hoping it would kill him, but it didn't. And he was in overpower mode, so I throw the SP3 just to end the fight. So that was just kind of in the back of my mind. So next up, we have a bishop on path 6. I've taken this before as well. This time I have full recoil on as well. And the plan basically here is to end in a light attack up and under a bar of power, and then over a bar, shorten my combo and hold block to bait heavies and just bait SP2s and take them on the block. This is my last Omega Sentinel fight, but at this point I was not sure if it was my last Omega Sentinel fight. There is a White Magneto on the next node, which is the Disorient on parry, and she cannot have her ability accuracy reduced when fighting mutants. So I was thinking about taking that, but White Magneto is tactic and he gains prowess when you hit him, just with any basic hits. So his specials were going to be unblockable. I even debated whether or not my armor ups would basically protect me if he goes unblockable and I eat an SB1, because it'd be harder to bait a heavy from him with the flourish. He'd be gaining a lot of power. So I was going back and forth, and I actually paused for a second and I think about this. So when I go back in, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to use America Chavez, and that way I can gain flourish buffs and fate seal them, and I don't have to worry about, you know, him basically being unblockable, because she can fate seal his prowess buffs as well. And that was the plan. And if I have to block an SB1 if he throws it, it's a one-hit SB1, so he needs 3 of those passive prowess per the node, however many hits you block off a special, in order for him to go unblockable as well. So at this point, I throw on, this is where I realized that I had the wrong boost on, because before this I was looking to swap out the mutant for the mystic power back, but it wasn't there. So here we go into the fight, and I'm just going to bait a heavy at this point. Push him back, and he throws a quick heavy, and I'm like, all right, perfect. Get my negative zone up, and I'm going to bait another heavy, and I'm just trying to build to a bar of power. And here I do with the second hit of my heavy, and I fate seal, and I get some power back, push into an SP2, and we're off and running. At this point, more flourish buffs. That's exactly what I want, because I want to throw this and fate seal them all, power back, and Mystic Dispersion carries me, and then I'm just going to intercept with a special 2, and Chavez was 1000% the call there. So that went very, very, very smooth. 34-second fight. Was super happy about that. Way better than trying to mess around with Omega Sentinel and that whole mess. You see, we're moving on Mini Island right there. So I'm buying some energy refills, and I have this Icarus at this point. And what I should have done is thrown my 200% boost on before this fight, because I'm running a 150 on Mini Island, so I want more damage. And at this point, I wanted to keep my indestructible for this, because I've looked into his mechanics and I can tank an SB3. I wasn't sure how this would go because it's on power reserve, and I was afraid that he would throw a lot of SB2s, but my thought process was to try to bait SB1s. I know I'm going to get that detonation, debuff that I have to throw a special, or else I'll lose some damage. And my thought was that if I eat 1 or 2 of that unnecessary damage, it'll be okay. But I want to make sure that I can get some negative zones up, just basically to help. And he's going to get these energize up, but it's actually going to propel my Mystic Dispersion. I just need to get to a special. So she's hitting quite hard with those buffs on him, and I want to bait an SB1 here, and I do, and I'm going to throw my SB1. Fate seals everything. I get plenty back from Mystic Dispersion. I want him to throw this special one right here, because I don't want to take an SB2 in the block. I'm not sure how much it'll hurt, but He throws another special right here. Perfect. And I want to bait another SB1. He throws it. And at this point, I'm going to throw my SB3 because that detonation is about to hit. And he's almost half down at this point. So I'm like, this fight is going rather well. At this point in the fight, I'm telling myself that if I have to take an SB2 on the block and he doesn't have a neutralize, it's a good thing. So I can get all those flourishes, and it's exactly what happens. I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna throw this SB1. I'm gonna intercept with it. I get an SB3. He throws this SB1, and I'm like, perfect. Throw my SB3 since he's about a bar. That'll feed him to 2, and I can basically just repeat what just happened and end the fight shortly after. So this, you know, her ability to fate seal and work with MD and control power gain is just really clutch. And here I throw an SB1, pushes me back. I have 2, 3, and 2 dimensions up at this point, but I had neutralize up right there. So unfortunately, I did not get any flourish buffs, but this is going to end the fight right here with the heavy. I had the SB2 locked and loaded. So the next up is Apoc on 51 Conflictor, and I've taken this now a few times. So what you're going to see is not based off of inexperience at this point. I'm comfortable with this fight. I was not worried about this fight. I had taken an indestructible boost into this fight every single time before, but for this fight, I used an advanced start power boost because I wanted to fate seal those prowess buffs as soon as I entered the fight, because I'm going to be doing some hits right here and the flourish, and you see, okay, everything's going fine. So the plan is basically try to block hits if he doesn't have a neutralize, let MD carry me, get neutralized up. I have a white magneto pre-fight here because I didn't use one prior to, and I wanted to use one for this fight and Arcus, so the hit monkey was the only one that I used one other than Hulkling. So everything seems to be going fine. He has neutralized up. He throws this into my block, and you see it does quite a bit of chip damage. The beefy boy right here, when he throws that special into my block, it does, you know, it does hurt, you know. So at this point, I'm gonna bait this this SB2, and you can see right there that, you know, that does, all of that does about 10%. So I'm not worried at this point. I am winning the health race, and I just need to get him down and heal up for the next fight. That's all I need to do. So I throw my SP3, he's at 40%, and things are looking good. He throws his special one, he's still neutralized, so no flourish buffs. He had a little bit of prowess puncture left on that, so that one kind of hurt. But I get another special one off, and now I'm at a special 2 with some dimensions up. And I'm like, okay, he throws this. At the end, I'll get some flourish buffs. Perfect. And I should have thrown my SP2 here, but I throw my SP3, and he's at 24%. I'm at 55%, and it drops him down to 12%. So this fight, totally in control, totally fine. I have a special one locked and loaded. I get these flourish buffs. I'm like, this is sweet. This is sweet. I'm about to fate seal this stuff, and I take a combo to the face, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can just parry and end the fight. And I had to choose to partially dex this, and thank God I do. But I'm gonna intercept with my special 2 right there to end the fight. And that, man, that was just bad. That was close. I was definitely sweating that, and it was just I want to say dumb luck at that point. But we had not died in this war yet as a battle group. We are going for our 6th donut on the season, so I really did not want to die there. And more importantly, I wanted to make sure I didn't die because we need this win. So for Arcus, taking Arcus on 54, and I am using a indestructible boost. And again, last war I floated into an SB2 into the face at the end when it was almost over. So I want to be cognizant of where his power gain is at and what's going on. So I want to get some negative zones up. He throws this SB1 rather quickly, so I'm like, perfect. And I need to bait one more to get my special off, and I do, and I throw it right there. I fate seal him, and now we're off and running. So at this point, I want to I want to try to bait a special one, and just I have 2 negative zones, so if he gets a power gain that sneaks through, then we're good. I wanted to get another negative zone since one was going to expire, and here I'm going to throw my special 2 and Fate Seal his power gain buff, and everything is going, you know, just fine. So he's getting friendly with the special ones, exactly what I want. Here I throw a special 1 or a heavy, the full heavy to get my negative zone up, and unfortunately a power gain sneaks through. So I have a choice basically to intercept with my special 2 or bait, and I choose to bait, and I throw my special 2 for damage, and I'm gonna see where this pushes him. If he can, he's neutralized, so at this point if he throws an SB1, I'm good to keep doing what I was doing. But if he doesn't, he gets his power gain, I'm holding block now. Now I go into block mode. He's getting flourish buffs, and I just want to basically have him get to 3 bars, and resist saved me right there, thank God. And right there I throw my special, MD pushes me to SB3, I throw my SB3, so I don't eat. I can tank his SB3, but then if I throw mine, I feed him more power. So I wanted to make sure I was quick with the draw to throw my special 3, so he can throw his and be fine. But he throws a full combo into my block actually, and I did that to get some flourish buffs, hopefully on it. I could have retaliated, but he threw a special 3, and that's fine. I'm gonna take this with my indestructible boost, and at this point I'm like, okay, I pop out of this, I'm gonna have a bar of power, I'm gonna special and Fate Seal some stuff, and that's exactly what I do. Pushes me to two bars, hold block, and special intercept with the Chavez finisher. So that was I like that fight actually. I was really happy the way that worked out. The Apoc fight, I almost tried to kill myself. But next up we have a Thing boss, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something that our battle group does. We you know, via PM or in the battle group chat, we often discuss what counters worked well in the fight, what was bad, you know, if assignment was a solo, but what could have been better. And Mad Cat came up with, you know, initially he threw out Diablo as a joke, but we ended up talking about the fight, and I told him to test Black Cat versus Thing in the Abyss, high health pool, and he was saying that she can be faster than Valk because I have an R5 Valk. And as you can see, the boss is not being taken by an R5 Valk. We have a Black Cat in here. And we came to the conclusion that Black Cat was not only safe, but faster. And a lot of people think the Black Cat is rather complicated, but in this fight particularly, she isn't. All you have to do is basically hit him. She will apply bleeds, which will lower rock stacks as you build to an SB2. So you're going to bait specials just like he's doing. At this point, the fight is actually going to start. She throws her SB2, she lands a sabotage debuff on him, and now anytime his ability fails, like those rock stacks you see, he is taking red damage, okay? And so even into the block, he's taking it. So all it is basically baiting specials and hitting him. And you can see his damage now going down quite dramatically. So Valk works the same, you're hitting his block, he throws less specials, but you do have to rely on him holding block and doing that. So in some ways it's safer, in some ways it can be more dangerous, but you can see him, you know, basically you know, going to town on Thing and keeping him in his corner. He's not, you know, he's not getting pushed back, and that's one thing that can happen with Valk, because you dash away, and if the AI is aggressive, then they're coming right at you. And right there he got parried, but her ability to shut down his abilities saved him from getting stunned. Now at this point, the sabotage debuff is going to fall off, and ideally, if that happens, you want to have another SB2 ready to basically reload the sabotage debuff, because you only pause the sabotage debuff when you are lowering their abilities, you know, while hitting him. So there he launches his SB2 as it falls off. That SB2 did quite a bit of damage, and it gave him a new sabotage debuff. He throws a special 1 to end the fight, but he's at 1%. But it doesn't really matter. The fight is now over. So awesome fight by Mad Cat. It was a great find that he suggested and we tested, and he said I could share that, so I'm sharing it with you guys. And you know, Wheeler coming in with the puns. Now they're spreading everywhere, and you know, Andrew thinks that Black Cat is better than Kitty, so I had to throw that out there. We did end up winning this war. I am not sure what happened to them. They didn't even finish the map. But regardless, we only died 2 times. Shout out to Andrew, Karate Mike, and PWF for the MVPs. And let's take a look at our season stats. So our most used attacker was actually Professor X with 21 fights. Chavez came in strong at the end with 16 fights. I was big on Chavez. I usually scout the global defense and attacker tactics beforehand, like a season before it's even active. And I eyeballed Chavez as a rank 4 and as a great attacker. I didn't get to use her much early in the season, but later she really turned it up for me. So 71 total fights. I did die once to that Mystic Spidey. I took 4 bosses, 3 spots, and a Thing boss. We ended up 6-6. We lost some heartbreakers, but overall, we had 5 donuts in the BG. We only died 10 times in 12 wars, which is a 4 Loki record I found out today. So awesome job by my battle group. It's a great team in there. We all work really well together, and we all carry the workload in one way or another. It's not about how many fights you take or what fight you're taking. It's just a matter of us synergizing and communicating, sharing info, sharing videos, and going about it that way. So awesome season because we ended in Masters, not in the top 10, but the goal is to have fun and enjoy who you play with. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next season of Alliance War. We just got our tactics released today, so everybody's diving into them. And we will be back when the season starts.